días from Olympia Gate. This is the Rorshok, Spain update from the 30th of May, 2024. Quick summary of what's going down in Spain. Kicking off this week on Wednesday, the 29th, Spain received substantial support from Arab and Islamic countries following its recognition of the Palestinian State. Wednesday, a delegation of foreign ministers from Qatar, Palestine, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation met with Pedro Sanchez, Spanish president, and José Manuel Álvarez, the foreign minister. They discussed advancing the two-state solution, a proposal that sees the coexistence of the Israel and Palestinian states, and attempts to address ongoing issues in the Middle East between Israel and Palestine. Closer to home, Alberto Núñez Feijóo, leader of the Partido Popular, or PP, has criticized the far-right Vox party's anti-European stance and its rejection of the EU Migration Pact. The EU Migration Pact aims to establish a comprehensive and fair framework for managing migration and asylum across Europe. This week, Feijóo praised Italian leader Giorgia Meloni for her pro-European position, but he spoke out against Vox, labeling them as part of the extreme right, further distancing PP policies from Vox. On Tuesday, the 28th, Pedro Sanchez and Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, signed a decade-long defense and security agreement that will provide Ukraine with €1 billion in military aid this year. The deal follows a deadly Russian attack in Kharkiv, increasing frustration among EU leaders over the situation in general, and Spain not pulling its weight specifically. The exact details of the agreement haven't been announced, but its aim is to bolster Ukraine's military capabilities, including air defense systems. Spain will supply Patriot missiles, Leopard tanks, and ammunition. The agreement also covers intelligence, training, demining, construction, and humanitarian aid. Turning to Andalusia, the regional government has ruled out imposing a tourist tax in the near future. On Monday, the 27th, Arturo Bernal, the tourism minister, stated that the decision to introduce a tax on products and services tourists use would be premature, and more work needs to be done to understand the full impact of this type of tax. Bernal agreed with municipal and business leaders to create the Observatory for Local Tourism Sustainability to analyze tourism's effects. Tourism economically benefits much of Andalusia, but also creates challenges. Some Andalus cities, like Sevilla and Malaga, support the tax to manage tourism's negative impact, but the regional government remains divided on the issue. Speaking of tourism, news outlets The Olive Press said that Sevilla's locals are becoming angry about inflated food and drink prices across the city. Taking to social media to discuss their frustrations, residents shared examples of exorbitant charges at tourism areas, restaurants, such as paying over €31 for a modest breakfast, including 3 coffees and 2 traditional molletes, which are lightly toasted white bread rolls with olive oil, often spread with garlic or lard, typical of Andalus breakfasts. Next to Catalonia, where rains in March and April have improved the water levels in the Fluvia Muga aquifer, a layer of the earth capable of distributing rainwater. Major drought in Catalonia began around 3 years ago, and in 2024, the situation has been getting worse due to rising temperatures and water scarcity. The increased rains have allowed 22 towns at the Alt Empordà region of Girona to escape their emergency drought situation. These towns can now increase the daily water supply per inhabitant from 200 to 230 liters. Still, the overall drought scenario remains critical, with 495 other municipalities in a state of emergency and continued precautionary measures across Catalonia. This state of emergency includes restrictions on water use for swimming pools and agriculture. In transport news, Basque company Construcciones y Auxiliar de Ferrocarriles, or CAF, is set to secure a €412 million contract with Metro de Madrid to renew its train fleet on Line 1. CAF is a company that operates across the world, providing trains and transport solutions for hundreds of lines and services, including metros in Italy, Hungary, and the UK. The company has submitted its technical and economic offer to Metro de Madrid and is the only finalist, making the award almost definite. This follows a previous €450 million contract for supplying 40 trains for lines 6 and 8 in Madrid. Total of €1.1 billion project for renewing Madrid metro fleets includes maintenance for a decade and trains that will apparently have 40-year lifespans. In other news, cloud computing giant Amazon Web Services, or AWS, plans to invest 15 billion euros in Spain, creating allegedly 17,000 full-time jobs annually and contributing 21 billion euros to the country's GDP by 2033, all according to Amazon. The investment focuses on expanding AWS's cloud infrastructure in the autonomous community of Aragon. Approximately 40% of the 6,800 jobs will be based in Aragon across sectors like construction, engineering, and telecommunication. From tech investments to stolen artwork, Spanish police have recovered another 5 million euro Francis Bacon painting that was stolen from Jose Capello's home in Madrid in 2015. 5 paintings were stolen, and with this news, 4 so far have been found. Painting is one of the 5 portraits of Capello, a friend of Bacon. 3 of the 5 stolen works were recovered in 2017. Since 2015, 16 people have been arrested so far in connection with the theft of the 4 paintings, including a supposed mastermind and many of the perpetrators. Stolen paintings were worth about 25 million euros. Moving on. Thousands of Taylor Swift fans eagerly awaited her concert at the Santiago Bernabeu in Madrid, with some camping near the venues days in advance to secure a good spot. According to news outlet El País, this has upset some locals because of the disruption. Some streets have been closed. News outlet El Mundo reported the regional government and city could have installed several stands outside the stadium in Chamartín neighborhood to sell official tour merch. Taylor Swift is currently on her worldwide tour, Eras, a show that has made over $1 billion in revenue so far and is predicted to double that by the tour's end in December in Vancouver. On Tuesday, the 28th, the Gay Games Federation confirmed that Valencia will host the 2026 Gay Games despite boycotts by local LGBTI+ groups. The federation decided against changing the venue for games, saying the Valencia City Council has been extremely cooperative. Local groups like Valencia Diversidad Foundation and Lambda withdrew over disagreements, including organizational structure and concerns about the regional government's political stance. In the regional elections in 2023, right-leaning Vox and PP allied and won the majority of votes. Vox party members in particular have historically commented negatively on LGBTQ+ rights. Federation has acknowledged global and local challenges to LGBTQ+ rights, but emphasizes the importance of maintaining visibility and not retreating because a regional government doesn't share the same views. In fact, it's adamant that this is exactly where events like Gay Games should be held to challenge stereotypes. Let's take a step back in time right now. For a week in May, a small town of Mérida in Extremadura transformed into Augusta Emerita to celebrate its Roman history. The Emerita Ludica Festival, now in its 14th edition, attracts nearly 100,000 visitors to celebrate the city's rich heritage. Mérida was once the capital of Roman Lusitania, in an area once encompassed much of Spain and Portugal. This year, the celebration was held between the 20th and 26th of May, hosting over 120 activities, including gladiator fights, spiritual rites, theater, craft markets, and legionnaire marches. Close to this edition, a bit of breathtaking biology. Bioluminescence is a phenomenon in which organisms produce light through a chemical reaction. It can be seen on certain beaches, creating a starry sky effect in water. Guess what? You can see it on the northern coast of Spain. The Sea of Ardora showcases the starry effect along the coast of Galicia. Key spots include the islands of Ons and Thies, Cabo Fisterra, Concurbion, and Carnota Beach. The phenomenon, often visible from June to September, is enhanced by warm temperatures and low moonlight. And that's it for this week. Thank you for joining us. Quick question, listeners. You ever go to libraries? If you do, we'd love to talk to you about them. Quick 20-minute interview. Rorshok's Ourzine project is interested in libraries. Let us know what you think at info@rorshok.com. If you can talk to us briefly, read more about Ourzines on our website. You can find the link in the show notes. Hasta la próxima.